Jedi Council believes in is violence.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. There are a few characters in Star Wars whose stories are still open-ended, meaning that a storyteller can pick them up from wherever we last saw them and place them in a new story with relative ease. A couple examples of open-ended characters are Ahsoka Tano and Sabine Wren, who we last saw at the end of Rebels and who are all but confirmed to be making appearances in The Mandalorian Season 2. Another one of these open-ended characters is the fallen Jedi Knight Barriss Offee. In today's video, we're going to be talking about what happened to Barriss and if we'll ever see her again. But before we get started, remember to subscribe to stay up to date with everything going on with the channel. So whatever happened to Barriss? Well, the last time we saw the former Jedi Knight was when she was brought before a Grand Republic tribunal and admitted to bombing the Jedi Temple, a crime that she tried to frame her good friend and fellow Jedi Ahsoka Tano for. Unfortunately, the canon explanation of what happened to her ends there, which is why she would be so easy to pick up and use in a different place. The Legends explanation gives a different story. In Legends, she is spared by the Jedi Council and found redemption through the light side of the Force. Because of this, she was inducted back into the Jedi Order and took Zondor, a Solonian, as her Padawan learner. During the waning hours of the Clone Wars, the pair was assigned to assist Jedi Aayla Secura on the planet Felucia. They were there when Order 66 was issued and Commander Bly executed Aayla Secura, and Lieutenant Gall ordered his ATTE to fire on Barriss Offee, blowing her remains to ash and ending her story. Now, I find this ending problematic. Now granted, the Legends explanation of how she died on Felucia came out before the Clone Wars Season 5 finale, where we saw how Barriss's views of the Jedi had changed. But I still feel like this character deserves a better end than just randomly dying in Order 66. She has been through so much, from being the only Padawan besides Anakin Skywalker, to survive the Geonosis arena, to the bombing of the temple. She deserves a better arc. The reason I feel like the Legends explanation doesn't make any sense is that I don't think that the Jedi Council, specifically Master Windu, would let Barriss anywhere close to the Jedi Temple after what she did. We know that Jedi don't believe in executing their prisoners no matter what their crimes, but that does not mean that they forget and forgive so easily. I mean, they were ready to toss Ahsoka out on the street when they thought that she was the one responsible for the temple bombings. And even if they did invite Barriss back into the Order, I don't think she would have accepted. She felt that the Jedi had become corrupt and that they were too consumed by violence. If she truly was trying to follow the will of the Force, then there is no way that she would want to come back and be a Jedi. Either way, in canon, her fate is still unknown. So what will happen with Barriss Offee? It all starts after she left the trial. After Barriss admitted to bombing the Jedi Temple, she was expecting her punishment to be carried out by the Jedi Council. But because clones and civilians died in the explosion, it became a Republic affair. Because of this, she was escorted by clones and temple guards to the high-security prison on Coruscant, where she awaited sentencing. The people of the Republic still had the bombings fresh in mind, and were eager to see the responsible party punished. They also remembered how only a few days ago, Padawan Ahsoka Tano had easily escaped from the same prison. The Republic officials, wanting to regain the confidence and reassure the people that they were safe, asked the Jedi Council for assistance with keeping Barriss under guard. The Council was hesitant. The Clone Wars were still raging, and there were hardly any Jedi to spare. However, one Jedi volunteered his services. The Jedi was a Padawan male and had served as a temple guard during the trial of Barriss Offee. He said that he was familiar with the situation and understood the care that he would need to take in order to reassure the people and also build up their trust in the Jedi once again. However, secretly, he was fascinated with Barriss. He had had his doubts about what the Jedi Order was becoming and wanted to express his views to someone brave enough to act on what they believed in. The Council reluctantly agreed and allowed him to stand guard over Barriss on the condition that she be brought before the Council and officially expelled from the Order. Several days passed before arrangements could be made, but eventually Barriss Offee was expelled from the Jedi Order, stripping her of her protection and leaving her fate up to the Republic. The sentence came swiftly as Captain Tarkin and the people were eagerly wanting to see the Jedi pay for her crimes with her life. A date was set for her execution, and Barriss knew that her time was short. She spent most of her days meditating in silence as she prepared to become one with the Force. When she did speak, it was only to the temple guard that was constantly watching over her. The two became close leading up to her execution. They talked about what the Jedi could be if it wasn't for the war, and how the Force was constantly being thrown out of balance. They talked about how there must be a better way to maintain peace throughout the galaxy, and what lengths they were willing to go to achieve that peace. In the days leading up to her execution, Order 66 was issued by Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, a directive which ordered all clone troopers to execute their Jedi generals. Barriss felt the immense loss of life in the galaxy. However, instead of feeling displeased or angry at the actions of the Republic, she felt relieved. Finally, she thought, the Jedi will pay for what they have become. Perhaps now a new order could rise and take their place, an order committed to peace and to the Force. Suddenly, Commander Fox burst into the room, a squad of clone troopers following him. He informed his clone brothers that Order 66 had been issued by the Chancellor, but that Barriss Offee and her temple guard were to be left unharmed, and instead were to be immediately taken to a different holding cell by direct command of now Emperor Palpatine. Barriss and the Padawan were both restrained and escorted to a secret holding cell in the Coruscant underworld, where they both awaited their fate. Days passed before the Emperor arrived, cloaked in dark hooded robes. He explained to them how the Jedi had tried to assassinate him, and how their coup to take over the Republic had failed. He apologized to Barriss for putting her through that ordeal, and told her that she was brave for trying to stop the Jedi before anyone else knew about their treachery. Using the dark side of the Force, Palpatine twisted their minds and promised them that if they were to serve the newly formed Empire, that they would not only become more powerful than they ever would have been as Jedi, but that they would be able to bring peace to a galaxy that had for too long been at war. They both agreed and pledged their loyalty to the Emperor. Over the next several years, the two were trained in the dark side of the Force, under the careful supervision of Darth Sidious and his newly constructed apprentice, Darth Vader. They were tortured, beaten, shocked, defiled, and mutilated. Their minds were corrupted, and any loyalties they had to the Old Republic or to the Jedi were erased. Vader was significantly harder on Barriss than the others. Although Barriss did not know that Vader was the fallen Anakin Skywalker, Vader knew who she was. This was the Jedi Knight who bombed the temple, and was the person responsible for his Padawan's expulsion from the Order. Vader insisted on a uniquely cruel punishment, to not only test her loyalty, but to have her suffer as she had made him suffer with Ahsoka. He brought Barriss before a special prisoner. Standing before the pair was Luminara Unduli, the former member of the Jedi Order and Barriss's former master. She was thin and malnourished. She had been a prisoner of Vader's for years, the Dark Lord using her to lure in and kill more Jedi. Barriss was shocked to see her former master alive. She assumed that Luminara had fallen during the Purge like all the others. Seeing her alive again was something that she was not prepared for. But instead of feeling guilt or sorrow for her master, she felt anger. It was Master Unduli who taught her the ways of the Force. Master Unduli who led her down the path that brought her to this moment. If she had been a better master, then Barriss wouldn't be in this position. She remembered all the years of torture and how weak her foolish Jedi ideals had made her. After only a moment's hesitation, Barriss struck her lightsaber right through the heart of her former master. She saw the life force leave her body as Luminara Unduli finally became one with the Force. Barriss Offee's last connection to her former life was now dead. Vader approached, and she knelt before him as he granted her the title of Inquisitor and named her First Sister. Barriss rose, now fully consumed by the dark side of the Force. She was ready to bring peace to the galaxy. Okay, so there was a little fan fiction in there, but I 100% think that Barriss becomes an Inquisitor. Another thought that I had, it's like exactly the same thing as before, But instead of becoming an Inquisitor, Vader just tortures her and kills her because of, what she tried to do to Ahsoka. But that story's like way shorter, and it didn't allow the character to be involved in much, so I went with the other one. But as an Inquisitor, Barriss Offee could take part in so many things, namely Jedi Fallen Order 2. We know that the second sister failed Vader, and he struck her down. Now we know Vader's obviously not going to give up, and this would mean that he would need to send somebody more powerful. This could mean that he would send Barriss to go after Cal Kestis and his friends and hunt them down. I think it would make for an interesting playthrough if the main boss was someone that we were familiar with. She could also make an appearance in the Bad Batch or Obi-Wan Kenobi shows that are coming to Disney+. Both of these shows deal with timelines during the rise of the Empire, and having Barriss in there would give us an example of just how far the Republic has fallen. She could go and try to hunt down Obi-Wan, as he was someone that she knew well. Maybe Obi-Wan would be the one to kill her, or maybe even redeem her and bring her back to the light side of the Force. If she was in the Bad Batch, I could see her having them assigned to her as Imperial Commandos, and them going out as a team on missions together to hunt down Jedi and Rebels, kind of like a continuation of Order 66. I think that would actually be a lot of fun to see. Whatever they do with Barriss, whether they bring her back or just leave her ending unresolved, or if they just, decide that she died during Order 66 like it said in Legends, I hope that we get to see it. I just feel like there are so many characters and so many shows and so many things that they can take advantage of, and Barriss Offee is definitely one of them. Well, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you guys think will happen with Barriss? Will she even come back? Will she become an Inquisitor? How would you guys like to see her come back, whether it be in the video games or in movies or shows or whatever? Also, don't forget to subscribe, as the channel is still small and every little bit helps. And remember to forever be a Star Wars fan.